Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to the AVFC channel. I am with a guest today. I actually don't think I've had many guests on the channel. I had an Arsenal fan a while ago, but I'm with Kieran Rants, Everton fan. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, I'm excited for this game. Aston Villa obviously beat us last time, but I've got confidence going into the game. And I'm happy to be on the channel as well.
Cheers. More confidence than me as well, I can assure you.
Yeah.
All right, so basically, we've already done a video on his channel, so go check it out. I've put it in the description. Basically, he asked me questions about Aston Villa and just the game and what my thoughts are. This is more about the general season of Everton leading into the game, so it's not identical. And if you could support him and subscribe to him, that'd be great as well. All right, so question one, 34 games in. How would you rate the season so far?
Very good. Massive improvement from the from last season. Obviously, we finished 12th last season, and the fact that we're even contesting European football at this stage is absolutely amazing. Yeah, spot on. Carlo Ancelotti, he's done it to every team he's been at. Absolutely amazing. So I'd rate it probably a solid, I'd say 7 out of 10, because you know what, we could have still got Champions League football this season, but I'm an Everton fan. I'm not going to expect Champions League football this season. So 7 out of 10 for me. It's been a really good season so far.
It has. I do rate Ancelotti as well. I think you've done really well to get him and James Rodriguez. I was quite impressed when they both signed for Everton. So yeah. So what's your favourite performance this season?
Favourite performance this season? It's gotta be the Merseyside derby.
I need to.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think everyone. So you know what? That was just easy. Merseyside derby, 2-0 win against Liverpool, obviously, at Anfield. Richarlison scores in the first 10 minutes, and we're golden. We win the game. Sigurdsson gets a penalty in the 80th minute. We're all off reds, and we're all happy. And so definitely 2-0.
How many years had it been? So I know there was like a bit of a gap with winning at Anfield. That's why it's so significant.
A bit of a gap is a massive gap. 25 years
25.
Since we won at Anfield, I believe. Yeah. And it was 10 years since we won a Merseyside derby. So, yeah, a long time. And it was really overdue, us winning a derby.
I think it does signify as well the drop this season Liverpool had and how well that you've done. I think it does kind of state both of them quite well. So, yeah, I knew you'd say it, but I wanted to just make sure.
Yeah.
Now, the more difficult one, what's been your worst performance this season?
It's got to be the Newcastle game, because they've done a double over us. I'm talking about the second one, really. That broke my heart, to be honest with you. At home, I believe it was 2-0. They just absolutely, they just dominated us. Honestly, we may as well have not shown up in that game. And that's the first watch-along I ever done for an Everton game. I was just heartbroken by it. I was just like, oh my, what a start, am I right? Wilson scores a goal. I swear, I think Wilson scored 2, both of them. St. Maximin got the assist for the other one. Heartbroken after it, because Newcastle fans, I've got no hate against Newcastle fans at all. You know, some great Newcastle fans out there, but you know when they do the double over here, they think they're the best team in the world. You know what I mean? But you know what? It's got to be that one, definitely.
As much as I do think they are like a big club, I do think a lot of their fans do have egos, and obviously that gets fed into when they get wins. But yeah, Steve Bruce doing the double, that's rough.
And the thing is with that one as well, they just employed that Bournemouth coach. And you just knew. Yeah. You just know it. Steve Bruce had nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? You just know Steve Bruce had nothing to do with it. That's what annoyed me even more.
Oh, yeah. I remember, actually, just going into the Bournemouth, we had to rely kind of on you beating Bournemouth on the final day of the season, and you lost. That was good.
3-1, that was awful, that one. Oh, God. They remind me.
Yeah, I was very nervous that day for a reason. All right, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, obviously a very prolific a goal scorer, incredible player. Scored 16 goals this season, but it is 10 more than any other Everton player. Is that concerning to you in any way?
It is somewhat, but you know you got to take it with a grain of salt, haven't you? Because he is we do feed all of our chances into him, and I'm not too worried about it, to be honest with you. What I'm more worried about is when we don't have someone like a James Rodriguez who actually feeds in those chances to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Because Richarlison, for me, I don't know whether he's a goal scorer or a chance creator, and you know what, I think it is a bit concerning that, you know, Richarlison hasn't got as many goals as we want. Maybe, you know, you could argue that we haven't got any wingers. You know, we could use with a few wingers to get more goals. But yeah, I don't think it's that concerning. To be honest with you.
Fair enough. I think a lot of teams do have that one specific prolific player. Some teams like
Hmm.
Chelsea have got away with it and just have loads of low scoring players. But just like Villa, we have a goal scoring player. As long as you have at least one, you should be okay. To be quite fair.
Yeah.
Um, do you see Dominic Calvert-Lewin leaving in the summer though?
No. No, not a chance. I think the only team he would go to is probably Man United. Obviously, Man United now signed a contract with Cavani,
Hmm.
and there's better options out there for Man United than Dominic Calvert-Lewin, so I don't see him leaving at all. And I think he'll stay. I think he'll stay for the next 2 seasons, to be honest with you, because I don't see any other club that I'd actually want him.
True. To be fair, I do
Mhm.
want loyalty in Premier League teams. I'm sick of top teams just thinking that every player who plays for a slightly smaller club is basically a free agent and they're fighting amongst it. I've seen so many people talk about Grealish and
Mhm.
these players. The humans and Dominic Calvert-Lewin will. I mean, he's played for you for quite a while. He will have at
Mhm.
least some allegiance, and I would like him to stay at your club just to put
Yeah.
pressure on these big teams. So yeah, do you want any Everton player though to leave the club? Any poor performing player this season? More
Uh,
than one, maybe.
I was talking to George about this on FaceTime. I was like, I'll get my list out, to be honest with you. Let's just do this. I don't want to sign Robert Olsen on a permanent. I don't want to sign Joshua King on a permanent.
Mm,
Gomez gone out of my club. Holgate out.
yeah,
Gabaman out. I don't think, you know what, at the end of the day with Gabaman, he's been injured for 2 years. I'm not having him in my club anymore. I think the defence, apart from actually Holgate, were actually all right. So, you know what, defence is fine. Midfield, as I said, Gomez, Gabaman, Fabian Delph, top of the list, Fabian Delph, mate. Did you see his pass to Josh King when said, you know what, don't even get me started on Fabian Delph, man. He's awful. But yeah, centre mid spots, sell those free.
mm.
Wingers, Alex Iwobi, gone. He's not good enough. I can't even remember any wingers on the. I don't even remember who else there is. But I would sell probably Moisey Ken. Time to go, really. I don't think he wants to play for Everton. And I would be open to selling Richarlison, but I'm not saying get him on transfer list.
I find it weird actually, Richarlison. I think you rejected a bid off Barcelona last year, like a massive bid.
Yeah, it was
Would
like, I swear it was like 80, 100 million for him. And the fact we didn't accept it is
Yeah,
just
I
like,
was gonna say. I remember
yeah.
on Twitter people were talking about what's more crazy, the fact that Everton rejected it, or the fact that Barcelona offered it in the first place.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, it's just bizarre. And if they did it now, I'd definitely take it.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just Richarlison's a bit of a mad one because he has some good games and then he has some absolute stinkers. So he's not got any consistency in his game. But when he is good, he is like he is spot on with it with his performance. So he's a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah, I think he's quite a phenomenal player. I think he's good in the air. He's got a lot in his
Mhm.
game, but a bit like a lot of the Villa players, also inconsistent. If you talk about any Villa, well, if you talk to any Villa fan about Fabian Delph, I'm sure they'll have a very similar
Mhm.
opinion. They don't like him.
Yeah, he's a little snake, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, that's an
Yeah.
understatement for sure.
Mhm.
What three realistic signings would you make to improve your squad next season?
Max Aaron's right back. I've been saying this for
Yeah.
ages. I don't think we're going to get him now, though, because I think Carlo. I don't know who's in charge of the transfer. I don't know who actually is in charge of it. Is it Brands or is it Carlo? But they're always sort of waiting around, not doing any
Mm,
sort of deals. And I'm not sure if they're actually going to be able to get Max Aaron's because I know a lot of teams are in for him. But I'd get Max Aaron's 30 million easy. I think Leon Bailey, he's a realistic signing from Bayer Leverkusen. 30, 40 million for him. He actually got frozen out at Bayer Leverkusen for a bit of time this season. He's came back into the team now. So I think he would come to Everton. And I think this is realistic from my point of view, but
mm,
I've been told by a lot of people that this is not a realistic view. But I think we can get St. Maximin, personally.
mm. That's interesting.
I'm not sure whether you'd consider that
Yeah.
realistic or not, but I think it's realistic, personally.
I'd say it's realistic, but it would
Mhm.
cost a lot of money.
Yeah,
And
it would. It'd be like,
would it be worth the investment? That is the question I'd like to ask.
yeah.
Because Newcastle, especially Bruce, would be very
Hmm.
very tight and say 40 to 50 mil or
Yeah.
something stupid along those lines. And as much as I think he's a very good player,
Hmm.
I don't know if how much would you pay for St. Maximin?
I personally would pay 40 million because I look at it
Yeah,
as though we bought Alex Iwobi for 40 million, so I'm sure we can spend 40 million on St. Maximum. I know it's a bit of a steep price
yeah.
for him, but there's another signing if you want me to say. Sander Berg for 12 million.
Oh, release
I would
clause.
sign him
Yeah.
as well. If you don't think St. Maximum's realistic, anyone watching, I would say Sander Berg for 12 million. I think he'd be a great backup option for Arlad and Decore. And if we start playing European football next year, we do need a backup centre mid that will go next to Tom Davies, so we can sort of rotate them throughout, especially the start of the season. But for me, it's right back wingers then Sander Berg.
Yeah.
I know that's more, but yeah.
To be fair, I think a lot of teams will be in for Sanderberg. 12 mil is a bargain for any Premier League player, and he's definitely above the Sheffield United level.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think you'd be in a bit of competition, but I could see him, to be fair, playing for Everton. I can envision that. All right, so this is a bit of a controversial one, and I wanted to get an Everton fan's opinion on it, so I'll put it in. As an Everton fan, how do you feel about Jordan Pickford being England's number one?
I fully support it.
Really?
I fully support it. I know at the start of the season he was really poor. He was one of the worst goalkeepers at the start of the season. I'm going to admit that, but obviously that Van Dijk tackle happened. He had to go and see a psychologist after that. He saw a psychologist. I'm not sure if he still is or whatnot, but ever since Christmas, ever since that news came out that he did see a psychologist, his performance has gone from West Brom, Sheffield United level to, I would say, Champions League level personally, because he's got man of the match in my eyes in the past. I would say 5 out of 12 games, I would say he's got man of the match. Maybe that Arsenal game, I'd give him man of the match. The Aston Villa game, I'd give him man of the match. There's multiple games I'd give him man of the match for. I think he's been amazing. And going into the Euros, I think his performances recently in 2021 have been absolutely spot on. And I think he's been better than Pope this season, personally, because I know Pope had a really good start, but he's been poor recently. And I don't think Dean Henderson's competing for it with him yet. Maybe next year, but for me, Pickford's number one.
Yeah, I was going to touch upon the fact I thought Pickford was incredible against us. I was really, really impressed. And as well, the other argument is that he's never really made a mistake for England. Where you got to judge him on what he's done for England. I thought in the World Cup, he was pretty good against Sweden as well. I don't know if you remember, he made incredible amount of saves in that game. So if you're going to base him on recent form and what he's done, I'd say, maybe I would put him as number one. Pope has been hasn't been as good as last season. I thought last season Nick Pope was better. And Dean Henderson, maybe in a few years, because he's kind of pushing De Gea out, he could challenge. But I think right now, I agree with that. Obviously, VAR, another controversial topic that we all like to talk about in the football community. What's your opinion on VAR? And has there been any awful decisions against Everton that you can remember?
I fully support VAR. I think that it's just the referees that are shambolic. You know, it's not the VAR technology. It's just the people who actually use it. And if I'm talking about VAR decisions against Everton, I want any Evertonian to comment down below. But I don't remember one VAR decision that's gone against us, or a bad one anyway. I think the only one you could really argue is, when they don't check on a penalty or when they don't check on this or whatnot. But I genuinely can't remember the last time we've had a bad VAR check. I think VAR has been quite nice to us, to be honest with you. Obviously, you saw with the Sadio Mane incident in the derby, that was very lenient towards us when his goal got ruled out in the 19th.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
something minute. So people might have to go in the comments and disagree with me, but I can't remember one that was bad this season anyway.
Yeah, I do remember, as you said, that the goal against it stopped Liverpool winning the game. I think it was I remember that. Yeah, I'm sure Liverpool fans won't be happy. Especially with them beating you at Anfield. Oh my days, not a good season for them.
You know what? Honestly, I'm telling you now, if we finish above Liverpool, I'm not saying we are, but if we finish above Liverpool now, right, then we've not lost to them this season. We've finished higher than them. I'd argue, we've had a better season overall, improvement-wise anyway. We're going forward, they're going backwards. I would say, it'd be amazing to have a better season than them, finally.
Yeah, I think it's definitely very, very close. And considering that they won the league last year, to already close that gap within a year, I think it's a testament to you, to be quite fair. All right, what Aston Villa player do you worry about the most?
I would say Watkins, but obviously he's suspended.
Well,
it's got to be your back line. I don't know whether it's Konza or Konza or Martinez. I'm not sure which one. Probably have to go Konza, personally. Yeah. I think that Martinez is one of the best. He's been the best goalkeeper this year, but as a centre-back, I think Konza's amazing. He really is running up stones for that starting spot in England, and yeah, he's probably the one I fear the most.
Yeah, it's a shame he never really gets a lot of attention by. It's not just people on Twitter, but obviously
Hmm.
Southgate has never given him a call up. I don't know what really he has to do to get a call up. If he's got Tyron Mings there, I don't
Hmm.
really like. He's clearly watching the Villa games if he's got Mings there,
Yeah.
so I don't know. But
I think with Southgate though, he loves experience, doesn't he? He always loves to go with
yeah,
old
true.
defenders. Because for me, I would sack off Dyer out, sack off Mings, bring in Godfrey and Konza.
Yeah,
They're much better players, but
yeah,
what
true.
have they all got in common? They're much older. Dyer and Mings are anyway, so that's what I think. But yeah,
The fact that he's included players like Dyer, like Harry Winks, it really does say a lot
Mhm.
about what he is. Like Harry Winks should never put on an England shirt in his career, to be quite honest. And the fact I know I didn't talk about this much on any of the questions, but the fact that Gareth Southgate consists with the five at the back when we have probably
Mhm.
the best attack in at least my generation, um, baffles me.
Yeah.
Absolutely baffles me because I think we could do well in the Euros if we had like a very simple four at the back system. But if you play with 8 defensive players,
Mm.
you're not gonna win anything. You're just gonna hang
No.
on and then get beat by teams like Spain. Probably lose on penalties historically as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
um. Oh yeah. So basically, in the prediction video review, if you haven't seen it, where we
Mhm.
talk about the fact that I think we'll lose. You said Everton 1, Villa 3. What are your thoughts behind that? Basically, why are you so confident?
Um, I think that you've got no Watkins, so I think you can only score one goal in this game. I don't know where that goal comes from. I don't know how it's scored, but you get one goal somehow. And we haven't got James
Yeah.
Rodriguez and we haven't got Yerry Mina, so that's why I sort of think that you're going to score. But up front, I really do think that once we get one past you, we can get multiple.
Mm.
And you will naturally be on the back foot because you won't have that attacking threat. Unless Grealish is back, where I might have to change my mind. But as far as I know right now, Grealish isn't in the team. Watkins isn't in the team. Where is that attacking front coming from? Ross Barkley, I'm not going to lie. Look, I know he played well against us, but that was the first time he's done that. That's the
Yeah.
first time he's actually played well. Maybe Traore, you said on the preview, he's
Yeah.
inconsistent. El Ghazi, I mean, he's not it, is he? He's not the attacking threat. So for me, I just think once we get one past you, DCL, Digne, Richarlison, we're just going to have a goal fest. And it'll probably come in the second half, to be honest with you. It might be 1-1, then we might score 2 in the second half. But it's wishful thinking, I know it is, but yeah, we'll have to see.
We have crumbled a little bit when we go behind. I don't think we've picked up many points at all. There was a point in the season where we hadn't come from behind. It got to the Chelsea away game in, I think, December, the first time we ever got a single point from a losing position. So like, it's something that we're clearly not good at. At
Yeah.
home, we're awful. So I think if you do take the lead, you will go on to win the game, especially with no Watkins. Grealish, as of this morning, might be involved in the squad, apparently. As long as he remains not injury free, pain free, the words that Dean Smith used, he'll be in the squad, but he won't be in the 11. I very much doubt it anyway.
I was just going to say, with Grealish, why would he rush him back for this game? We're not direct rivals. I don't think Aston Villa are going to do much. I think he'd rather have Grealish back for the next game, wouldn't he? Like, fully fit. But then again, I'm not a Villa fan, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think the decision may be down to Jack himself. He wants to, apparently he's wanted to play for a while, but every time he gets to like towards the end of the injury or whatever this has been, he's getting pain in his shins again, so he can't play too much. He clearly wants to play, but
Yeah.
just having setback after setback. I'd rather just wait like an extra week or two, make sure he's fully fit, because I don't want him to have another setback. Say if he comes on, gets injured again, that's easily out for the season. It's not. Yeah, and it's just not great. I just want him to just be fit, man. So bad. The season just, as soon as he got injured, our season just completely went, man. It's so painful. All right, so last question for you anyway. Where do you think you'll finish in the table? We're only a couple of games left.
Realistically, probably 7th, but optimistic. If I'm optimistic, 6th. We're going to finish just above West Ham on the last day. Ben Godfrey screamer in Barnes. I'm telling you now, we're gonna beat Man City. West Ham are gonna bottle it. West Ham will finish 7th. We'll finish 6th, and we'll be chilling.
Yeah, well, it's still even 7th is still Europa League, so
Yeah,
it's
I'd
not
still
even the
take
end of the
them, by
world.
way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd still take either one, but it'd just be good so I could get the one up on Georgia, wouldn't it? So, and Jay, big ups to Jamie, by the way, but he was dead salty after we won on the weekend. So it'd be quite funny if we do finish above them.
Yeah, if I was to give my own opinion, I think Man City is a tough game, but they've got nothing to play for. You've got everything to play for, so I could potentially see it.
Sorry, with the City game, I don't think they'll play their starting 11. They'll play literally their
because
B
the Champions
team. I know
League,
their B team's good, but I think you see people like Laporte will start, Ake will start, Stefan. They literally will play their B/C team. So I think we do have a chance, especially if there's an incentive to go and win the game.
Yeah, no, I think you got a point. All right, so that's everything. Where can people find you?
Just Kieran Rants on everything. Apart from Twitter, it's Kieran Rants too. But I'm sure if you search up Kieran Rants, it will come up. Yeah, pretty simple. There you go. You can find me YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. I mostly do most stuff on probably YouTube, but I've got the most followers on TikTok. So go and follow both of them. I'm most active on both of them, and that's where you can find me.
Yeah, I'll put all the links in the description. I really appreciate you coming on. I've had loads of fun. If you guys, I know I mentioned it earlier, but I will mention it again. We have done a preview. It will be in the description as well. So go support him. Go subscribe. And yeah, good luck for the game.
Yeah, good luck to you as well.